I think we're at a point of genuine cultural crisis in the West, where we're in danger of being strangled, stifled by what we think is knowledge and what we think is expertise. We're bound into short-term, problem-solving, anxious, control-oriented policies in every single area of our lives, from education through to technology. And that is making us diseased. It's possible for people to live with about 5 to 10% of their humanity really engaged. Lots of people do. And that's really not good enough. Human beings deserve better. They deserve to have the fullness of their humanity engaged. And it's as we discover more and more of what that humanity really entails that we find we have more room for one another, more room for compassion, more room for imagination. A lot of this begins, I think, not in asking what's going to make me happy. I think it begins in attention, the time taken to attend to something else, not with an agenda that comes from inside, but letting your mind, your imagination really be shaped by who and what you see, letting them set the agenda, not you, as you take that in. Now that needs, I think, a discipline of taking time, of giving space for that. It means setting aside a bit of time during the day for attending to something, and very often it can be a matter of attending to your eating and drinking, making sure that if you make a cup of tea, you sit down and drink it slowly, and you don't try and find something else to do while you're doing it. You know, wander around the kitchen with a cup in your hand while reading the newspaper. Just absorb it. I think for me as a religious person, it's the ground base of meditation. You try to make yourself present, actually be there where you are. And I think also exposure to the reality of the world, the feel of earth and grass, the feel of rain. And we want to protect ourselves so often from those basic physical things. If there's a big message in all this, I think it's perhaps your humanity is more interesting and more alive than you could ever imagine. And consequent on that, give yourself the time and space you need to discover that. And in discovering that, you actually find new ways of connecting with the earth and with the people around you. And I would say too, with God.